Hi, I'm Trevor Williams with Global Atlanta, and we're here with Walter Bastian, who is the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Western Hemisphere. And Mr. Bastian, you've been intimately involved with the Americas Competitiveness Forum last year and this year. Can you tell us a little bit about the origins of the forum and kind of how that got started?
Yeah, the concept for the forum came out of a trip that President Bush took down to the Summit of the Americas, I think in 2005, and came back, and there was an announcement from the White House that the President wanted to hold a forum, a business forum, and it seemed like a logical thing for us to do. I don't think we envisioned anything that's turned out to be as big and as broad as this is, which I suppose argues that there's a hunger out there for this type of information. But the idea was to get businesses and government officials, senior government officials, from throughout the hemisphere to come in and exchange views or ideas, experiences, and best practices. So, and aiming at certain factors of competitiveness. So last year we took a look at things like education, broad brush education, importance of that. We took a look at supply chain management. How do you quickly move goods from, point A to point B, or from the place of production to the marketplace? Small business, things of that nature. And that was last year. And last year we had, I would guess, there were about 1,000 people that came in. We had 50 plus ministers or cabinet level officers that came in, CEOs from the U.S. and Latin American and other business folks. And the idea, from my perspective, wasn't just, you didn't want to debate what, is competitiveness important or what is competitiveness. I mean, it's a given, I think, that competitiveness is important. So, but to capture the imagination of foreign government officials as to what the world could be like for them. What could their business environment be like? And what are the benefits that accrue? More business, create jobs, you grow economies, greater tax base is generated, so you can take care of all the social needs, not all, but the social needs that your country has. So anyway, that was kind of the idea, and I said the size of the event was, we held it here in Atlanta with support from the mayor's office, from the state, from CFAL and Metro Atlanta Chamber. And Atlanta was a logical place to do it for several reasons. And we looked at a number of cities across the United States, but one is transportation hub. It's easy for people in the hemisphere to get to Atlanta without having to go through an intermediary stop. Size of the city, the story that Atlanta has to tell. I think Atlanta ranks third in the nation of Fortune 500 companies headquartered, so that was good. We've got some wonderful academic institutions here, and actually, as we found out, a number of foreign government officials who were educated at some of your institutions. So it worked out beautifully. And so we decided to do it here again.
And so how has this year's forum been expanded and improved this year?
The difference was that last year, when we said to people, well, we're going to go to Atlanta and have a forum, there was no track record, there was no brand name. Right. And I think you see that the difference this year in the level of participation. As I said, last year we had 50, let's say 50 cabinet officers that came in from Latin America and the Caribbean and Canada. This year we had about the same number, but we also had 3 heads of state that came in. It was easier to, actually very easy to recruit the speakers that we wanted. When we wanted CEOs of major companies, we could, it was relatively easy.
Was that different from last year?
I'm sorry?
Was that different from last year?
Yeah, last year was a first-rate program. This year it was rated, whatever. You know what I mean? It was absolutely, it was sensational. But I think the participation by heads of state, tells you that, you get 3 presidents in Atlanta, and they're not just flying in and flying out. Right. They're staying for part of the program. They're having meetings of their own. President Uribe from Colombia was up here, and met with some of his counterparts, the other presidents. He met with business executives. He went out to the Carter Center. I mean, you know, really taking full advantage, talking to the Colombian American community. It was absolutely
That's
first
really
rate.
great.